Hey, what's up, YouTube boxing family? It is K-Rod here. I'm back with another good video for y'all today. I wanted to make this, boxing video to talk about Keith One Time Thurman. I just call him Keith Once Upon a Time Thurman. But I'll just keep it straight up. Keith One Time Thurman is facing Mario Barrios February 5th. That will be, uh, on pay-per-view. I forgot where. Oh, it's gonna be at the MGM Grand if I'm not mistaken. So good fight. Can't wait. Keith Thurman. He has been stated that this is more like a type of breakout fight for him, and he has to perform at a high level. In which I do think a Mario Barrios type of fight is a very difficult fight. But then again, I don't see why Keith Thurman cannot take that same energy and fight a guy like Gervonta Tank Davis or maybe Jerron Boots Ennis, which, even though, like, knowing that Keith Thurman is just being careful of how he's, reviewing his options, he probably, would say a guy like Mario Barrios is a very good, good, sturdy opponent. And I think that makes a lot more sense of how he's approaching his decision. Because, Keith Thurman, facing a Jerron Boots Ennis coming off of literally a 2 year layoff or 3 year layoff, if we're going to be honest, is actually a better choice than trying to go after a killer at at 147, where he's been active enough and he has way more tools sharper than you. So I think Keith Thurman, he's making the right decision, but at the same token, it's like, Keith Thurman should have never been done that shit. He should have, he should have at least, came back from the Manny Pacquiao loss, try to stay active even though COVID was happening. And I understand he said that he had injuries and shit like that, but at least try to get back in the ring and try to get a fight. Because it's like, it made no sense that Keith Thurman, he was training up inside the gym, trying to get back into it. And, part of me feels like his disciplinary actions just didn't convert into the sport of boxing enough. And that's what caused Keith Thurman to be very, very, just very, very, quiet, throughout these past few years. So now, Keith Thurman, he has a lot of climbing up to do. Well, I'd probably say no, because, what I'm about to share to you guys is going to be breaking news. So, shout out to Miss Ashley's Corner. Please go subscribe to her. Very beautiful, intelligent woman. I like watching her. She's very informative. She's straight up. She keeps everything, raw and, just honest, to the word. So definitely go check her out. She's a great YouTuber. I enjoy watching her and listening to her. So what she said in this video will definitely shock you a lot, but the information that I have received from her channel, and I'm pretty sure other people will catch on to it, is that Keith Thurman facing Mario Barrios is a WBC title eliminator. See, now, I'm not a fan of this because I thought Keith Thurman should have been working up to the rankings. So now it makes zero sense of why Keith Thurman's able to get this opportunity and just face Barrios off the jump. And then this is going to be a title shot for the WBC. Like, yeah, I don't get it, because last time I checked, I thought Virgil Ortiz was number one in the WBC. And now it's like just out of nowhere, Keith Thurman's going to get his shot, for a mandatory title shot position. See, now, I can easily see a Keith Thurman versus Virgil Ortiz title eliminator final spot, because I think that's what's gonna I think that's what's gonna happen. I think the WBC is gonna try something in which they're going to try to make Keith Thurman fight Virgil Ortiz, in which I'm not against it. I think Virgil Ortiz knows that Keith Thurman is going to be somebody he's probably going to face, but the fact that he wants to go a certain route and facing Michael McKinson, a guy that nobody doesn't fucking know, and a guy that has zero punching power, and in which I think Virgil, he's going to stomp and fold him. But who knows? You know, anything could happen in boxing. But I think a Keith Thurman is not going to play around with Virgil Ortiz, and I think Virgil Ortiz, he's going to be in really, insane trouble facing Keith Thurman if a Keith Thurman is primed and ready, and he's back in action. But obviously, we just have to find out come February 5th to see how he's going to look against Mario Barrios. And I'm pretty sure Mario Barrios, he's not coming to play around. He's coming to knock out Keith Thurman. I think that's what Barrios is going to have to do. Even if you have to say that Mario Barrios, he has to try to, work shots to the body and then work downstairs and upstairs so that way he can have mix-up combinations to have, that upper edge advantage, to possibly win the fight. I could easily see that. So I'm not so sure. I think Keith Thurman is in a really big, he's lined up for a lot of work. He has a lot of work lined up in his, arsenal that he has to work with. And I think Keith Thurman knows that he has to work on, a multitude of things just to, get back up to the top. And I don't want to see Keith Thurman fight way past 35 years old, heading into his late 30s. But it's like, look, if Keith Thurman looks amazing and he smokes Barrios, and then he can just do the same thing to Virgil, then the main question is just going to be, is he going to fight Boots? Because we all know Jerome Boots Ennis, he's going to be the main dark horse out of 147. So now it just makes me question that, is Keith Thurman really going to be in a good position that he thinks he's going to be in? Because Keith Thurman, he's basically in a triple threat, death trap. He's in a spiraled triple threat situation where you have three, killer demons that you have to face before getting up to the top and facing the ultimate demon king, that being Errol Spence. Because, it's like Mortal Kombat. It's like, Shao Kahn is at the top, but before you get to him, you have to face Goro, Kintaro. You have to face all these killers before you even get up to the ultimate killer. And I think that's what Keith Thurman's in. He's in that Mortal Kombat death trap situation. Like, should I go face Reptile or should I go face, Kenshi or Ermac? And I think that's really where the problem is, because everybody at 147 is literally a walking Ermac or a walking, Tremor mixed with Rain. Who knows? But that's just how I see it. Errol Spence is like Ermac mixed with smoke. And, you have Boots that's Rain mixed with Tremor. And possibly just, who else? Like Cyrax, right? Like, dude, all these guys at 147 are just going to flip the wild card, one day. And who knows? Virgil Ortiz can easily be beat by somebody that we don't know that's on the come up. Brian Norman Jr. can move up to 147 and he could beat the shit out of Virgil Ortiz. Jose Ramirez could possibly face Virgil Ortiz and beat him. Josh Taylor could move up to 147 and beat him. Who else is next? Who else? We have a lot of killers up here. People want to say 147 is not a glamour division, and 147 is a weak division because nobody's not fighting each other. But I disagree. 147 is just getting started. 147 is a very, very deadly division. Regardless of what people want to say, but the fights that you see at 147 are way more competitive than the fights that you see at 140. And I'm not to say that 140 is just as glamorous as 147. 140, yeah, 140 is a semi-glamour division. It's definitely not there yet, but when it gets its bearings up and it has pay-per-view level fights that people want to pay for, then yeah, I can definitely agree. But Keith Thurman, he has a lot of work on his plate, and he has a lot of mind preparation to get through against Mario Barrios. and I think Keith Thurman should be successful. But if Mario Barrios, if he fucks around and it hurts Keith Thurman, and it turns into a absolute nightmare for Keith Thurman, then yeah, I think Mario Barrios can easily defeat Keith Thurman, and I'm probably gonna have to side with Mario Barrios, him being the massive underdog. So I don't know, man. I think this is gonna be a very interesting fight card. But then on top of that, like we have to take into consideration, like, Errol Spence. He's gonna make his return against Ugas. It's been 2 years for him due to the eye injury and him having other injuries that held him back. So I'm just hoping EJ he can get his his life back on track against Ugas. I'm pretty sure he will, because Ugas he is a very difficult opponent, and I think EJ he has enough tools in the toolbox to solve that puzzle. So I guess like we're gonna just have to find out to see how that fight's gonna play out. Because I do have EJ over Ugas. I think Errol is just way more heavily skilled than Ugas. And it's going to be interesting to see where EJ is going to be at the level of facing Ugas. And then if we can get Crawford for undisputed, those are two back-to-back amazing victories. But I'm pretty sure Crawford, he's going to have to face EJ anyway. Because Crawford, knowing, what we've heard about him, going to Top Rank and suing them to court, I think Crawford, he's going to be left with no choice but to have that Errol fight, because that's going to be so much money wasted on lawyers and shit. And I don't see how Crawford can just, walk away thinking that, it's not going to be a big deal not fighting Errol. So I'm hoping Crawford can fight Errol, because, like, honestly, if Keith Thurman wins against Barrios, Crawford said he wants to face Keith Thurman if he beats Barrios in July. So Crawford has been out the ring since November. So fast forward to February, that's like a total of 5 months if we're going to be exact. So now from February to July, you mean to tell me Crawford needs to get ready for 5 extra months just to face a Keith Thurman? And then what? You're going to fight EJ in September? Like, I don't know, but let that make sense. But I think that's a horrible decision. And I think Crawford should just wait for the winner of Errol Spence and Ugas, if I'm just keeping it real. But hey, if he wants to face Keith Thurman just to stay active, I'm not against it, but just let it be known and be ready for EJ in, like, in the near fall. I think that makes a lot better sense, because at least EJ, he has more time to get ready to fight, Crawford, and then Crawford, he can get ready for EJ after coming off of a Keith Thurman fight if he wins. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think Keith Thurman is fit to be the WBC mandatory after coming off of like a 3-year layoff? And, I guess, like, what should be next for Keith Thurman if he does get past Mario Barrios? So who knows? All right, I'll see you guys later. Peace out and goodbye.